Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a Ashened Dogmatika deck profile. So if you're looking to play a fun deck, and maybe just try out the Ashened even though it is older, maybe this will give you some ideas. It is a 40 card main deck, and we'll get right into it. So just running the 3 Priestess. This gets you all your other Ashen cards when it's normal or special summoned. And then, of course, the boss monster of Vidos. Pop a field spell, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. If it leaves your opponent's side of the field and goes to the graveyard, you can blow up all monsters on the field. So, you know, if you pair it with Super Poly or the Trap, it can be beneficial if your opponent is not able to use it as material. And then, for the 1-of, 1 King, 1 Hero, and 1 Shaman. I only like these at 1. I don't think they're the greatest. If anything, I would probably bump up King to 2, and maybe the Shaman, but yeah, I just think they're not the strongest cards. Hero, of course, can pop a Pyro to place a field spell. King can special summon a Ashen monster if the opponent controls a monster with 2500 more attack, so can be useful. And then for the small Dogmatika package, in terms of the monsters, we have 1 Ecclesia, gets you another Dogmatika card at the end phase. 1 Maximus, banish an extra deck monster to special summon it, and then you can make both players send 2 cards from their extra deck to the graveyard, which in this particular build is very helpful. And then 1 of the Fleur-de-Lis. Since I do have the Dogmatika cards kind of working with the Ashens, this is kind of just another interruption. If a monster that is special summoned from the extra deck is on the field, special summon this from the hand, and then negate 1 monster on the field, which is nice. For the last of the monsters, of course, 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. For the spells, we have 3 Obsidian. If it gets popped, whether it gets destroyed or banished, you can special summon an 8 Ashen monster, which is nice. Pair it with your Vidos, and then during your turn, it makes all your opponent's monsters that were special summoned Pyros, so you can get your, of course, the Super Poly plays going, and the Trap card. And of course, speaking of Super Poly, I am main decking 3. I might change it to 2, just depending on how it does. I'm going to be trying this build out for at least a couple weeks, see how it goes. And of course, one of the best opening spell cards in the deck, and that is the Awakening of Vados. Quick play, activate it, put a field spell on your opponent's side of the field, and then if your opponent has one, you can add the Vados, which is nice. And then for the Dogmatika stuff, we of course have 3 Nadir Servant. Now this is nice because it only locks you from special summoning from the extra deck during the turn it's activated. So, of course, with your Super Polys and the Trap, that doesn't really affect you, and it kind of just gives you some advantage, which, in my opinion, this deck definitely needed. And then I still run the 2 Extinguished. Nice to get you a Vados from the graveyard to the hand, and then banishing it to do a polymerization play. Never too bad. 1 Terraforming, just to try and get the Obsidian. And of course, the 1 Bonfire. I'll do it for the spells. For the traps, we have the 3 Infinite Permanents. And then I am trying out 3 Dogmatika Punishment. It is strong, but I don't know how I feel about 3 currently. I mean, this might go all the way down to 1. We'll see. If I do take it down to 1, I'll throw in some of the Beastils. Then 2 Ashened to Endlessness. Of course, it's a Super Poly, and it gives the monster that comes out, which is usually your big Ashen monster, 500 attack per material, so it can get pretty big. And then the 1 Eternity. When it's activated, you could steal back your Vados and make all your opponent's monsters lose the attack. And then it also lets you add a Vados from graveyard to hand when it's activated, so pretty nice to recycle and maybe save you for a turn. That'll do it for the main deck. For the extra really quickly, of course, all of the Nadir Servant targets, 2 Entis just for the pops. Garura, not only is it a super holo target if you're able to keep in your extra deck that long, but it gives you a free draw when it goes to the graveyard. 1 Titanclad, and then I am going to try out the Predaplant for the Super Poly, and of course the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. 1 Ember of the Ashened. I just run 1 just because it takes 2 Pyros, and again, just trying to use my Super Polys to the best I can. And with the field spell turning the opponent's monsters into Pyros, if they only have 2 for some reason, you can go into this, pretty nice. And of course the boss Ashened, what is this? Vados, the Dragon of Endless Darkness. You can get it pretty big with the trap, of course, and then it does destroy all spells and traps when it's summoned, so really nice, and it can be destroyed by card effect. So if you have a full field of Ashened and then the Vados on the opponent's field, Super Poly, bring it out, destroy all the monsters with Vados' effect, and then all the spells and traps, and he's safe, so pretty cool. And then I do run the 1 Ecclesia to pair with the Titanclad, and then 1 of the Cloud Beast, 1 Flame Banshee just to add the Vados, Aggregator for the negates, Farigite for draw power, and 1 Dark. I'll do it for the extra. Of course it is 15, and I don't really build the side decks very well, to be honest, but I'll go ahead and show you what I am running. This should definitely change towards your locals and what people are playing, and to kind of counteract that. But I'm running the 3 Fuelos in the side, and then 3 Melchummy, 2 Draw and Lock, 1 Thrust, 1 Talents, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Call by the Grave, and 1 Cross-Out Designator. And to round it off, just 2 traps. I am trying out 2 evenly matched. So yeah, hopefully this helped you out in one way or another. If you're looking for a build, maybe this gave you a couple of ideas. But overall, just a fun deck to try out. It's nice because it's themed around kind of Dark Souls, which I played a lot of. So that's kind of why I picked it up originally. And I've always liked the Dogmatika package. So throwing them together, I'm going to try it out. If I do well, which I don't think I will, but if I do, I will go ahead and post some videos on that. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.